Israel sent troops into Gaza. This is Undiluted News. Mikey Bones reporting. Israel said its forces went west of the Gaza Strip fence on Sunday, carrying out an operation to clear the area of terrorists and weapons and try and find hostages. According to the IDF, missiles were fired at them by Hamas, and one IDF soldier was killed and 3 others injured. The armed wing of Hamas said it happened east of Khan Yunis in southern Gaza, and that the Israeli soldiers crossed the fence for several meters. IDF spokesman Daniel Hagari said that Israel carried out more raids into Gaza last night. He said during the night there were raids by tanks and infantry forces, and these raids are raids that kill squads of terrorists who are preparing for the next stage in the war. And it said 37 members of Hamas were detained overnight. In Jamaica, the Kingston Western Police have charged a 21-year-old man with possession of a prohibited weapon following an altercation with his child's mother on Saturday, October 21st. Charges Marco Fraser, catering assistant of Blunt Street, Kingston 14. He was also charged with unauthorized possession of ammunition. Reports are that about 11:10 p.m., lawmen were in the area when they responded to a dispute which involved Fraser and his child's mother. And during the operation, the premises that was occupied by Fraser were searched, and one Taurus 9mm pistol with a magazine containing 10mm rounds of ammunition was allegedly found in his possession. Fraser was subsequently taken into custody, and he was charged following a question and answer session in the presence of his attorney. A team of officers assigned to the Clarendon Police Division seized one firearm during an operation in Canaan Heights in Clarendon on Saturday, October 21st. Reports from the Maypen police are that about 11:55 p.m., lawmen were in the area when they stopped at a party to ascertain if the organizer of the event had a permit. While the police team was leaving the premises, one Taurus PT 9mm pistol with a magazine containing 14 9mm rounds of ammunition was seen on the ground. No one was arrested in relation to that seizure, and it seems as if the gunman flung away the weapon even though the police had no interest in him. Still in Clarendon, police and gunmen traded bullets after a failed robbery attempt at an automated teller machine in Crofts Hill in Clarendon on Sunday morning. Reports are that about 4 a.m. in the morning, the gunmen were attempting to steal the ATM when they were accosted by lawmen, and it was reported that after the shootout, the gunmen fled. The machine, however, was not breached, and following the incident, the police cordoned the area and launched a search for the gunmen. Meanwhile, 2 men were shot dead and 3 others, including a 17-year-old, were injured during an attack in Priory in St. Anne Saturday night. The dead men have been identified as 42-year-old Dwight Harrison, a factory worker from Riverhead in Monique, and Nicholas Dobson, 38, from Priory, both in the parish. The injured men have been hospitalized in serious condition, according to police report. And it's reported that about 8:25 p.m., the 5 men were on a section of the Prairie Main Road when they were approached by 2 men, one armed with a handgun. The gunmen reportedly fired several shots and the men fled, but they were all hit. Harrison and Dobson were shot in their upper bodies. The other men received gunshot wounds to their abdomen, arms, and other section of their bodies. Police said that Harrison was killed on the spot, while the other men were rushed to hospital where Dobson died while undergoing treatment. 3 men were shot dead by lawmen sparking a protest in Rae Town in Kingston yesterday morning. The men are all 19 years old and were fishermen from the community. They are Carlo Faulkner, otherwise called CJ, from Paradise Street, Andre Max Turner from John Street, and Shahid Morgan, also called Tinado, also from John Street. Police said a Taurus 9mm pistol with a magazine containing 12 rounds and an Arcus 9mm pistol with a magazine containing 5 rounds were seized following the incident. And reports indicate that the police had gone to the area following the reported robbery of 3 cellular phones and cash from 2 men and 2 women by 2 gunmen along Michael Manley Boulevard near the Rae Town fishing village. The robbery is said to have occurred about 4:15 a.m. and following the robbery, a report was made to the police. The lawmen reportedly tracked one of the stolen phones to a premises on Paradise Street in Rae Town. One of the victims was escorted to the premises where one of the alleged robber was pointed out. Police reportedly entered the premises and were fired upon, and following a shootout and subsequent search of the area, the 3 men were found suffering from what appeared to be gunshot wounds. They were transported to the Kingston Public Hospital by the police, where they were all pronounced dead. And following the shooting of the 3 men, residents took to the streets to protest the killing. Police are now probing the murder of a man at a bar following a gun attack in Spur Tree in Manchester on Saturday night. Police named the deceased as Jethro Driscoll, otherwise called Soji, or Chris, 48, an ex-soldier and construction worker. Preliminary reports are that about 7 p.m., Mr. Driscoll was at the bar when a man wearing a hoodie entered the establishment and attacked him. He shot him twice. The man escaped on foot. Mr. Driscoll was pronounced dead. Onto sports, the Jamaica Football Federation, the nation's senior women's footballers are now in a standoff regarding the payment of prize money for the team's participation at the recent World Cup in Australia and New Zealand. I had mentioned during the World Cup that the money that the players were paid by FIFA to qualify for the World Cup, JFF would probably don't pay them. Lo and behold, they did just that. The girls were supposed to play Mexico yesterday, and the regular players did not turn up to play because, according to the JFF, they have been suspended because they called a meeting on Friday and did not turn up. So the JFF quickly picked a couple of schoolgirls and players from off the street, and of course they got beaten real bad by Mexico, losing 7-0. And before going to the World Cup, the Reggae Girls signed an agreement for 20% of the FIFA prize money, which was paid to the JFF. FIFA announced that each player should receive $30,000, and I mentioned that if they are lucky, they might get 1,000. In 3-point bulletin to the JFF, the girls requested that they be paid all outstanding sums before the start of the October window, and up to now, not even a red cent they have not received. And we now come to the end of the first round of the Manning Cup on Saturday. Tivoli Gardens crushed Cumberland High 11-0 to secure second place in Group B behind defending champions Jamaica College, who blanked Meadowbrook 9-0. Kingston Technical, who were just 1 point behind Tivoli and waiting for Tivoli to lose or draw, beat Spanish Town High 4-0 but still ended up 1 point behind Tivoli. And elsewhere, Kingston College edged Charlie Summit 2-1, Stats Blank Excelsior 2-0, and it was a similar result for Hydel over Calabar. Former champion St. George's College got by Campion College 3-0, while Penwood clipped Camperdown 2-1. And in the Costa Cup, defending champions Clarendon College continued their relentless march towards retaining the title, following a crushing 8-0 win over the Cartwright College in their first leg second round match at Manchester High on Saturday. Captain Malachi Douglas was the star of the show with a hat-trick. Other winners were former champions Garvey Massio, Cornwall College, Port Antonio High, Froome Technical, Happy Grove, Christiana High, and Manchester High. So on Saturday, we have Taki and Cedric Titus played to a 0-all draw. Garvey Massio 7-0 winners over St. Mary. Cornwall College beat Black River 3-1. McGrath 1-0 winner over Edwin Allen. Froome Technical were 4-1 winners over Vere Technical, while William Nib and Central played to a 0-all draw. Christiana beat Rossi's 3-0. Port Antonio edged Manning's High School 1-0. Happy Grove were 2-1 winners over Ocho Mile Gully and Bel Air played to a 1-1 draw, while Dintil beat Horace Clark 2-0, and Manchester was 1-0 winner over Monroe College. And that's going to be news and sports on your favorite community radio. My name is Mikey Bones. I gone.